Someone is knocking on my door. If Grabner thinks I'm going to follow him around like a puppy... No, I'm just not going to answer it. It's a holiday. I'm not moving. I mean, it could not be Grabner. Like, I know you two just had an argument, but you don't... It could be a lot of people. The knock repeats. He's keeping his temper at least, not banging down the door, but I'm still not answering. Dave, dear, wakey. Yeah, you see? You know? What? See? Good morning, gobbler. That? What? No. Because I'm a turkey? Because Thanksgiving? Is that it? All right. What? I know you're keen to learn about American traditions, so you'd better get up and get over to the gym for the parade. We're having a parade? Oh, no, we're only watching. Everyone does. The kitchens won't be serving meals until the feast this afternoon, but there will be some snacks on hand. Now, you'd better get a move on if you don't want to miss the beginning. I suppose this is how it works? I guess, yeah. On Thanksgiving Day in America, the businesses of New York hold the world's largest parade. There are marching bands, cheerleaders, actors, singers, enormous balloons, huge decorated floats. It goes on for hours. Families line the city streets and hotel balconies to get a look, but most of the country watches the television broadcast from home. They've got a marching band, but like there are at least 15 people, nine people playing the trumpet. They love a trumpet in America. That's what we're going to take from this. Families line the city streets and hotel balconies to get a look, but most of the country watches the television broadcast from home. Here at Iris Academy, we can go a step better. A complex illusion transforms the gym stages into an enormous picture window looking out into the streets of New York, as if we were right there among the crowd. It's only an image, not a portal. They can't hear us, and any popcorn thrown at the view remains in the gym. That means everyone feels free to scream approval when the high kick dancers wearing suit jackets and stockings do their routine. There aren't many of us here, but it seems that Potsdam has rounded up most or all of the remaining students in the name of tradition. Any stragglers will probably show themselves at the feast. Why was feast in air quotes? Are we going to get there and it's going to be like a cheese sandwich and a packet of crisps? Like, here's your feast. Blaze is the first person I see that I actually know, so I end up sitting with her. Right, that's who Blaze was. I needed a second. I thought it was Jacob. But that's Blazing. And listening to her jokes along with the official commentary. After the parade in the early afternoon, the feast is served. An enormous roasted bird takes central prominence, seated proudly on a silver platter and surrounded by fruits and greens. But there are many more dishes to choose from, especially vegetables and pies. That is a lot of pumpkin, my goodness. What are these? Like the world's biggest jelly beans known to man? Like, a real jaw worker. To make it easier to accommodate the group, the food is set up on one table like a buffet. We all circle around it and make our selections before moving to another table to sit. Everyone is present, even Grabner, although he won't meet my eyes. At the last minute, when I've already taken my seat, Damien slips into the room and heads for the food. I didn't even know he was still at school. Yeah, neither did I. Well, you know, I guess it makes sense, actually. He's a bit of a wrong one. Now, while we're here, let's all share something we're thankful for. I am it's tough to know what to be thankful for, especially when there isn't that much. I'm going to be thankful for the existence of cocoa powder. You know how many coffees I've had that cocoa powder has made wonderful? That's what I'm thankful for, and I'm not thankful for Grabner. I am thankful for the warmth of your company and the peace of this academy. Isabella? Right, you're Isabella. I'm thankful for a comfortable roost and another grand parade. Trinity? Oh, right. That's who you are. I'm thankful for the continued health of my family. Hieronymus? I'm thankful that we have not yet had to expel any freshmen this year. Sorry, buddy, my second year I'm gonna get expelled immediately. That is something to be thankful for. I'm thankful for rabbits. What? Okay, Focus moves around. I mean, to be fair, I said cocoa powder. What? I'm judging him for, like, being thankful for rabbits' existence, and meanwhile I'm like, oh, yes, thank you, chocolate. A South Asian man in a Toad Hall robes turns up his classically beautiful nose and refuses to speak, but Potsdam seems to expect that and move on. Do we know that person? Then everyone looks at me. I am thankful for making friends, new opportunities, food. Oh man, all of these are terrible answers. Hit me with new opportunities, but like that, we could not be more of a bland human being. The chance to see a different part of the world and learn about all of your customs. A few more harmless statements, then at the end of the table is Damien. I'm thankful for innocence and beauty, and he's also thankful for the chance he has to destroy it. Wasn't that lovely, everyone? Now, eat up, enjoy. Later today, we'll have some traditional games available in the gym. Nothing too strenuous, we'll all need to digest. And tonight, we'll be running vans to the mall for the midnight Black Friday special. Seats are limited. Only American would make shopping at midnight a holiday tradition. I think I'll pass. We don't have money for, I don't know how many weeks it is at this point, but for like 14 or 13 weeks. Like, we don't have money for so long, we couldn't go anyway. All right, but for now, there is a feast to enjoy. After overindulging at the feast, I'm walking slowly through the hallway when I hear someone clear his throat behind me. Mr. Lunason? Keep walking. Keep walking. No! I would like to speak with you if you have a moment. This is a request. You are on free time. You may say no. So he wants to apologize to me? I mean, he may not, but like, we have to. Sense of pride. If there's a chance he says sorry, then we should let him do that. If he doesn't want to say sorry at all, then, you know, we'll just never speak to him ever again. All right. I follow him into a room. So, yesterday I spoke harshly. It was not my intent to drive you away. Of course not. That wouldn't be doing your duty, which you will do, but you don't have to like it, right? Yes and no. You are not a burden. At least no more than any other student. No, Mr. Lunason, you don't understand. I hate you all. Every student is a risk, a chance to prevent disaster. Matt, I know that's supposed to be like a sigh of like, but it kind of looks like he's smoking. Or he could be exhaling like a chef's hat. A chance to prevent disasters if only we are careful enough, clever enough, teach them enough. And we failed. I failed. He takes a slow breath. Tell me what you know of my history, the public version. Do not mince words. He wants me to say it? The rumors say you murdered a wild seed in England when you were a student. But I know that's not what happened. It was an accident. That makes no difference. I was a young man finding his freedom for the first time at school, away from my family estate, like me. I did not trust my elders. There were too many lies, too many dismissals. When I was inconvenient, I was pushed aside. When I was alienated, because I thought I knew better, I chose not to believe anything I had seen for myself. And therefore, I defied every warning and brought a wild seed girl with me into the other world. And she died? I killed her, as surely as if it had been my hands on her throat. Honestly, that does sound like his fault. So, it feels kind of right for him to own up to it. It doesn't feel right for him to feel this pained about it however many years afterwards. At some point, you got to forgive yourself, buddy. She knew that I had traveled the high road safely. She saw no reason why the same should not be true for her. After all, I would be there to protect her. But she was not adult nor a member of the Grabiner family. The old bargains did not defend her and her soul was devoured. Hieronymus returned to England badly wounded with only his lover's empty body in his arms. It was a terrible scandal, not least because of the risk of someone investigating how he had survived. The noble families joined forces to cover up the incident and explain the girl's disappearance. Oh, God. Oh, no. Every now and then I'm reminded that I'm part of the elite. I don't like it. Help. Hieronymus was ordered to keep silent. In anger, he left England, never to return. His exit fueled rumors that he had killed the girl in some kind of romantic quarrel, which muddied the truth even further. It has been a long time since I've spoken of this. I do not like to remember. My duty to you stirs up old memories. That is your fault, it is not mine. It has been, always been mine. It is easier when no one knows. When you are here, I can't forget. I don't think he's ever forgotten, not for a single day, even if he doesn't speak her name. You know my story, and I'm the only person here who knows yours. Your company makes me uncomfortable, but I would rather you came to me if you needed support. I don't know if I'm being too harsh. He hasn't said sorry. He hasn't, right? He's still like, this is why I think it, but like, also, you make me uncomfortable and I slightly resent you. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't said sorry. I guess it's refreshing that he's honest. That's how you should look at it. You don't need to do that. There's nothing wrong. Everything in my life is just being a teenager. The love and the loss that we feel when we are young may be the deepest and forever mark our fates. Forgive me, I must sound like a melancholy old man. He's not even old. Adult, yes, but not what I would call middle-aged. I feel foolish for snapping at him yesterday. No, you don't. But I don't know what to say to him now. He's not my father, but he is my teacher and we're not exactly friends. You don't need to hear all this. Speak to me if you have a need. Don't do anything stupid. Right. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't help but laugh a little. It feels like we shouldn't be going to you if we need help. Am I crazy? It feels like... in the hood, we'd call him a red flag. You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad for him, but... nothing has changed. We just know why he feels the way he does, which is still slightly resentful and uncomfortable around us. Maybe I'm too harsh on people, but maybe I'll just keep going to Minnie. Ah, there we go. There's an idea. Finally, I can sleep with no one bothering me. Stress decreased by 25. Oh, it's not even that much. Do we get more sleep? There we go. There we go. All right, 0 stress again, thank God for that. Eventually, tiring of spending all day in my room, I decided to go out for a walk. On an ordinary Saturday, I could go to the mall. Well, there's nothing wrong with spending all day inside your room. That's what I'm doing. Not really. Not today. I could go to the mall, but with most of the students gone, the vans aren't running. I'm not sure about the dungeons, but they're probably locked up for safety reasons. Before the holiday started, Potsdam made a point to say that the library would still be open. Maybe I should go there. No one seems to be around except for the librarian who looks up from her books as I enter. I'm almost half surprised that Minnie hasn't managed to cast a teleport to come back here over the break. Afternoon, Mr. Lunison. Big up, Camden Town. Good afternoon. I don't know much about Miss Darden except for the Thanksgiving meal. I've never seen her out of the library and inside the library. I've never seen her out of the library. Oh, except for the Thanksgiving meal. I can't read. It never seems appropriate to start a conversation with her. Besides, she's a teacher. Well, actually, she isn't. At least not a professor. She could be a junior instructor, but she seems older and more experienced than Professor Van Brun. Still can be deceiving. Something on your mind? Oh, I mean, we've literally started this with, like, it would be awkward to ask her. Ask about books, bro. With no classes right now, I don't have a lot of time, so I was thinking of for some books to pass the time. What sort of books? Fiction. Something newer than what's on the shelves. We can't stock much of a range of fiction on here, especially not new books. Not enough to call for it, and the new keeps changing. However, we are registered with an interlibrary loan, so if you put in a request for any book you might like, we can order it here. There's no charge, takes a week or two to get it here, that's all. I need it over Thanksgiving. That's so long. She reaches into one of the pockets on her dress and pulls out a square of blank paper. And if you don't know what you like, you can describe the kind of book you're looking for and I'll pick you something. Well, it won't give me anything to read right now, but it's useful to know. She settles back into her chair with a book. You let me know if you need anything else now. I suppose it's up to me to amuse myself for now. Oh, we didn't even give her anything. We just let her give us that speech and did nothing with it. What a disaster. It's not hard to tell when the other residents of Wolf Hall return to the school. The quiet corridors slowly fill with boots and shouting. Yay! I go around, see who's around. Hey Dave, how was your break? Educational. Restful, boring. I'm gonna hit him with a restful on that because I did lose 48 stress. It was relaxing. Honestly, the crash out we had last episode may not even be unwarranted. We had 48 stress. It's quite a lot. It was relaxing not having to keep a schedule. How about you? We got snow, which is great because it got me out of the house and away from all of the girls. We're like 17. You can't be like girls have cooties. Ellen's okay when she's not with Urchin, but then Pastel was there. Do you know her? Not really. Well, look out. She'll probably try to seduce you sometime. She does it to everyone. You're 17, bro. You should welcome it. William was her first target, obviously, but he just sort of laughed and treated her like a kid, which she hates. I suppose he acts like that with a lot of people, keeping his distance. Good for him. He's older. He's not that much older. Maybe. He's like a year older, right? That's not... Next thing I know, I shouldn't stalk. She's trying to sneak into my room in the middle of the night. Did you let her? In my parents' house? Besides, that's not the kind of thing I'm looking for. Like, you're not looking to have sex, or you're not looking for women. What is it? I want a girlfriend who looks like me, not one who'll take anybody that's who likes you. I was like, oh my god, alright, narcissist. But no, never mind, fair enough. So after that, I kept my door locked. But the snow was great. We went out on sleds. Did you get any here? Not really, just a tiny bit up in the air. Well, I mean, you're from Eastern Europe. You probably see it all the time. Is that true? Nope. Well, it's still early. Don't worry. By Christmas, we'll freeze your toes off. It's already colder outside than I'm used to. I'm going to see if Luke is back yet. Catch you later. Of course, by Christmas, I will be home again, at least for a while. And that will be strange in its own way. Man, part of me wonders if I'm going to have enough time in this playthrough to even max 2 different schools of magic. I think in the old game it did used to be 1 to 3, but in this game it's 1 to 2, so... December's probably halfway through? It's dicey, you know? At the end of the next week I have a chance... Oh, yeah, again. Read half the sentence, move on. Oh, just in time to start. That's right, slam jamming black magic. I suspect there won't be any spells to learn in between 90 and 100, but I would like it if there was a 65 and a 75. Tonight's meal came with a very American side dish, an enormous mound of long, thin-cut fries. It feels like a lot of places outside of America do that, but you know, big up Camden Town. Luke calls them shoestring, but I don't think about eating my shoes. Oh, doesn't that mean they're like long and curly or something? Now, you gotta make the sauce properly. He picks up a red plastic bottle in one hand and a yellow mustard in the other and squeezes them at the same time, forming 2 distinct mounds of color on his plate. Then he grabs a pair of fries and begins vigorously swirling the 2 sauces together until they become orange. Okay. To Google, is ketchup and mustard together a thing? How did ketchup and mustard combined become the quintessential American... Oh my god, it's a thing. What? It's a real thing? I know of it, like, you get ketchup and mustard on hot dogs, but... just yamming it over some chips? Crazy what you learn from games and culture, huh? Shaking my head, I smile and look past him, the correct action. I notice Barbara sitting by herself, quietly contemplating her dessert. She looks more calm and relaxed than usual. Perhaps she had a nice Thanksgiving break. Probably not. She was glad to not be around anyone. She sets the sealed plastic cup of pudding in front of her, then stabs down through the foil lid with her knife. Again and again, she brings her fist down, causing tiny eruptions of brown goo with each motion. She almost looks like she's giggling. Do they all play with their food here? Luke sees my expression and looks over at Barbara's table. She's scary. You've never made a mess with pudding? I never tried to murder it. So is this American pudding where it's custard? Or is this general pudding outside of America where it just means dessert? Tough one. I don't know. I'm going to assume custard. He put pudding in inverted commas, but I don't know if that referred to one or the other. Wait, brown goo? Huh? Sometimes it's best not... Chocolate custard? I don't know, sometimes it's best not to think about it. As I'm getting ready for my day, I hear a commotion out in the hallway. When I open the door, I'm greeted with an awful smell, like someone has wrapped up a dead fish in a bunch of dirty socks and left it in the sun. I summon Breeze to try and freshen the air, but the smell doesn't budge. What's causing this? Ah, it must be a rotting corpse. That's it. Down the hall, I see the usual suspects pulling open a window. Donald? It wasn't me, I swear. It was like this when we got up. I can't find the source. I believe him because if it was him, he would admit it. Luke pulls his head back in from the window. It smells fine outside, but it stinks in here. At least it's not poison gas like that exam, I think. It's not. Probably. No, it's just a prank. We look over to William, surprised. I'll deal with it. He waves a hand and the smell suddenly disappears. It must have been the result of a spell which he removed. There's a black magic spell that can make something stink? That might be the least useful spell. Can you teach me the stink spell? No. Aww. If it's a prank spell, who is the target? Me. He doesn't... Low William relationship? Oh, come on. He doesn't say anything, but walks back into his room and closes the door. It's probably Angela. Is he okay? Or Damien? Donald shrugs. I don't know anything you don't know. Someone did this, but why? It must have been set up at night, like that time when I heard someone sneaking around in the halls and he attacked me. Do we need to set a guard in Wolf Hall? Probably not. Well, it's only a bad smell. It's pretty harmless as pranks go. Yeah, especially if you can just like wave it away. Kind of feels like it doesn't really have that much point. Oh, no magic for 65? Oh, what a disaster. Someone is knocking on my door. Hello, Minnie. How's it going? Good morning. Sign this. She holds out a piece of paper. What? It's the announcement for the next exam. It's next week. Oh, it's the last exam for the year, so we have to study. Wait, what's the date? Don't know why I looked at my own calendar to see what the date was. That wasn't going to help. And I wanted to remind everyone that they can come to the library on Saturday, so I needed to have a note for the mail. And if it's an official notification, so it should really come from both of us like before. So if you could just sign. The words keep pouring out of her, and it seems the only way to make them stop is to do what she wants. It's probably not a good way to like go into interactions. I need you to stop talking, so I'm just going to give you what you want. What's that? £500 for charity every month? Yeah, sure, whatever. I take the paper from her hand and peer at it. It's exactly what she said it was, though it wasn't likely she'd try and trick me into signing a false contract. Imagine if that was the way she tried to get us to like marry her or something. Haha, my whole fake busy was actually a persona. Now I can be lazy and you're all mine. Last time we did this, she at least asked me if there was anything I wanted to add before sending our joint message. But then what would I add? There's nothing to say, really. It's just a note about studying for the exam. Fine. I add my signature to her note. Thanks. Also, there's a student council meeting on Monday afternoon to talk about school holiday plans. I nod. Okay, bye. She hurries away. Oh, god damn it, Minnie. Why can't we have more, like, interactions where we're cool with one another and, like, you know, hugging and maybe, like, doing other things, you know? Like holding hands or something absolutely degenerate? When I get up in the morning, I spot a piece of paper slipped under the door. It's a note from Minnie, well, from the both of us, mentioning the next exam Friday, 13th of December. I've done it again! What am I doing? It's next week. It's 6 days from now. What should I do today? Well, that's not fair. Huh? We can't have another test already. We just had one. No. We should have more. I would love one every week. But they're probably like really difficult to make. Dude, calm down. It was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but we were on vacation. We didn't have time to learn anything. Well, there was bound to be an exam sometime in December. Finals are supposed to be right before Christmas break in an ordinary school, but we're not ordinary. Luke's only response is an incoherent whine. I shake my head and return my attention to planning my day. I'm gonna study. I know, shocking. Study with Minnie. The principles of white magic. Ugh. I mean, we must have like 4 on everything now. Yeah, slowly getting to 5. I wonder if it's worth just like hopping along to a blue or green or white magic class at some point just to like pick up whatever the 5 magic spell is, right? Because you get one at 5, I think. You might even get one at 3. I noticed that Ellen is sitting at the table next to me in the library, quietly reading a book. I am absorbed in my work, so I see no reason to bother her. Someone else has other ideas. Ellen? Are you busy? I'm studying. She keeps her voice low, but I can still hear them. Why don't you take a break and come back to my room for a while? Then we can, you know, paint one another's nails? Murder? Didn't we have a lot of fun last time? Come on, your hands are crying out for it. It's actually, it's suggested to be something else, but this is going to be a manicure or like painting nails, isn't it? Well, maybe a little won't hurt, but we can't do this all the time. Right. With secretive smiles, they slink out of the library together. Pastel and Ellen? Huh. They're painting one another's nails, man, or like manicuring or something. I'm telling you. There's nothing untoward there. I managed to not read the first half of that sentence. Be so proud of me right now. What should I do this week? There's an exam on Friday. Well, funny you should ask. We have 11 stress, so me personally, I think I'm just gonna like slam every single black magic class possible. No. Oh, wait, hang on. Can I be nefarious? Is there aren't autosaves in this game? No. Oh no, I have to live with my failure. My last save was, oh my god, my last save was when we were at the mall selling candles. Disaster. All right, this afternoon, look at the stress I have. I still failed. This afternoon, the student council has a meeting. Hello, my bright and shiny baubles. You need to stop. It's gotten worse. Today we will be making arrangements for the Christmas season. I raised my hand. Hanukkah and Ramadan both ended, and we didn't do anything for them. Why does Iris Academy only celebrate Christmas? Based, though. What a thoughtful question. We do not officially celebrate the religious aspects of Christmas, only the cultural aspects. In this country, Christmas and New Year's are considered general public holidays like Thanksgiving. Of course, individual students are welcome to celebrate their own traditions, and the chorale honors many faiths. Okay, well, as long as there is some honoring going on. Does that answer your question? Yes, ma'am. Oh, good. Now, for the holiday season, it is our goal to foster goodwill and good relationships among our students. We will be holding a Secret Santa event where each student will be assigned to give a thoughtful gift to another. This encourages them to think about their classmates and consider what would please them. For this purpose, we like to assign a pairs who are almost, but not quite, friends. Feels like there's a lot of expectation there. Who would I consider almost but not a friend? Like, oh god, I mean, is it mean for me to say Ellen? Probably. Virginia, but I wouldn't even consider us almost friends at all. Besides that, it would have to be to someone like Raven, right? Like someone really out there, someone who like aren't friends at all. I don't think we have anyone that this applies to, maybe other than Ellen. If they are already friends, they don't need the boost. But if they truly dislike each other, they won't enjoy the gifts. We don't want any fights over booby-trap bonbons. Ah, lame. She clasps her hands. So you as officers should know your classmates. Please write down suggestions for pairs who could use a little nudge. Don't worry if you can't think of very many. Random selections will be almost as much fun. That feels like it defeats the purpose. Do I know any people who are almost friends? Not Virginia and Donald. They already give each other birthday presents, and it doesn't make them get along any better. Ellen and Donald, Donald and Jacob, Minnie and Barbara? Minnie and Barbara. Almost friends, you say? The last interaction they had was Minnie trying to say, as president, I can help you, and then Barbara hissed at her. So I'm not going to go with that one. Ellen and Donald feels like it could cause some fights. Donald and Jacob? Blazing? Are they almost friends? Hit me with Ellen and Donald. Donald said something about like Ellen is actually alright when Virginia isn't around. They have some similar interests and Donald always says she's alright, but they're not close. Maybe they could be friends if they tried? I write down my suggestions and hand them into Professor Potsdam and then go on my way. I assume whatever we're choosing is going to happen, so. Honestly, like, even outside of Minnie and Barbara, like, if the game does want me to do that, it can simply burn alive. I hear a single tap against my door and wonder if someone's knocking. A moment later, several more knocks, rapid but quiet, an unusual combination. Yes? Are you busy? Why? I want your help. With what? I don't want to say. Is this about a prank? Will you come with me? Man, he's like sweating. Sure, I'll follow you with complete confidence, assuming that you're not going to lead me down something absolutely insane. For real, for real? Okay, what is it? Luke leads the way to a classroom, now empty for the day. He closes the door, then looks at me. What's going on? I want you to watch me cast spells. Okay? Why? Because sometimes they just don't work. It happens sometimes when we're in class. Grabbing demonstrates a spell and I try it and nothing. Maybe you haven't quite learnt it yet, but it happens to spells I know really well too. I use Breeze to air out the room when somebody farts, but sometimes it just fizzes out. Breeze is an awkward one. That is really low. But try it again and then it works. And I wasn't doing anything different, I swear. I don't know, I'm not an expert. Maybe you should ask a professor. He thinks I'm just goofing off. He'd laugh at me. Then ask Potsdam. Well, probably not laugh, but, well, whenever me and Logan practice together, it's fine. I never have problems. But in the tests, and there's an exam this week, no wonder he's worried. All right, go ahead, cast some spells. I'll watch. Thanks. I take a seat and watch as Luke runs through the simplest spells on his repertoire, calling out each name as he casts it. Everything works just the way it should. Shouldn't you be happy? Your spells are fine, but they're not. You're probably losing your concentration sometimes, that's all. You just need the confidence. If things work better when your brother's here or when I'm here, then imagine us both being with you during your exam. Cast blind on yourself and then pretend that we're around. That's the way forward, though. In a chicken suit? What? It's a thing people say when you're nervous about giving a speech. Imagine the audience dressed like chickens. That isn't what I've heard, but kudos to your idea. Or in their underwear. Yeah, something similar than that. I'm not sure how that cures nerves, but it seems to have cheered Luke up. Thanks for helping out. Sure, no problem. He'll be fine, I think. He won't be fine. He'll die. I mean, he'll be fine. What? Huh? First thing in the morning on Wednesday, we are called out to an assembly in the gym. Good morning, my sprites. As you know, the winter solstice is fast approaching. At the end of the week, many of you will be leaving us for the Christmas holidays. If any of you are not certain of your plans for the break, please come and speak to me after assembly. But before that, we have much to celebrate. If you will please come up here and reach into this bowl for a piece of paper, that name will tell you who you're a Secret Santa for. Be mini, be mini, be mini, be mini, be mini, be mini. It will, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. It will be your job, yes, I'm going to advance the spacebar press like this. It will be your job to find a gift for that person which you think suits them. To keep things fair, you are not allowed to spend more than 1 week's allowance on your present. Oh no! I have to steal or make something. Oh no, okay. Spend? How am I supposed to buy a gift if I don't have any money? Keep your name secret until after the gifts are delivered next week. I make my way to the stage to draw in your name. Slips of paper in a bowl seem random, but for what Potsdam said before, I don't really think they are. Yeah, good point. I unfold my slip on a paper to read in the name written there. I will be Santa for Jacob Blazing. Oh. I've already ruled him out as someone who wasn't about to be my friend. Oh, wasn't this the guy who said, like, wealth and elite is good? Did he or Minnie suggest this? I can't talk to Potsdam now because she's meeting with other people about their holiday plans. It will have to wait until later. What are we actually going to do? We don't have money. 70 black magic isn't a spell? Oh no. I tracked down Professor Potsdam in the halls. Yes, Dave, what is it? I was wondering, are we required to buy presents for Secret Santa? But it wouldn't be very kind to leave your recipient without a gift. Imagine how he would feel. No, I mean, do I have to buy them at the mall with allowance money? Oh, I see. Well, it doesn't have to be from the mall, but it should be a new gift that costs no less than $5. Giving away your own possessions might make things feel less equal. After all, someone is buying a gift for you. I don't have any money. That does make things a bit difficult, but every choice has consequences. If you wanted to opt out of this activity, you should have said so before drawing her name. Help me out as the authority figure. Don't just sit around and say, told you so. What are you doing? How was I supposed to know that was an option? Exactly. If you can't produce a gift for your recipient, then you'll have to accept demerits. But you're a clever boy, so I'm sure you'll think of some other solution. We're going to have to make something. What other solution? What does she want me to do? Steal something? There must be a way. We'll make something. I know there's an achievement for max merits, so demerits feel like the devil for now. When we get 50 and we're maxed out, we can take as many demerits as we want, frankly. All right, 73 black magic, and then this is the exam, right? All right. I see this episode has gone on a little too long. I can't include an exam in it because exams can take anywhere between 2 minutes or 15. So, exam next episode. And I'm too excited for exams, so I'm going to immediately do it. You guys won't see it until tomorrow, though. Haha! Or if you're seeing this in the future and you're like a grandfather view. Anyway,